listening to Second Chance Ministry Radio. Hello everyone, my name is Frank S. Garcia. Today I am happy to announce my first show, produced by myself. It is entitled The Christian World. The following episode is about an Army captain, Captain James Heath. Captain Heath was an Army chaplain who converted from Christian to Muslim. Enjoy and have a glorious day.
Confronting the anti-Muslim sentiment in media.
Muslim Americans help to keep us safe. We see this in the brave service of our men and women in uniform, including thousands of Muslim Americans.
This is Muslim in America.
Is Captain James Yee. Now, I found him, unfortunately, through news stories, headlines about him being a traitor to this country. He was a chaplain. He was in the Army, captain in the Army, and he was on Guantanamo Bay as a chaplain there. And based on some discoveries that he found, he ended up in the crosshairs, in jail, in shackles with an execution sentence on his head. And he survived it. Charges were dropped. And he's here today to talk about his experience, but also as a man who converted from the Christian faith to the Islamic faith. I want to talk about that journey as well. So welcome our panel. Yes, thank you. Yes. I want to actually bring Captain James Yee in because you were a terrorist by all accounts, right?
Was I?
By all accounts, right? According to the headlines early on, I was talking to you about it, and you said that you thought it was like a joke at some point. Like, how could this happen to me, an American citizen, grew up in New Jersey, went to West Point on a wrestling scholarship, joined the military, and ended up in jail and with an execution sentence over your head.
Right. So, for your listeners, a little bit of background. I was one of the U.S. military's first Muslim chaplains to serve in this country. I converted to Islam in 1991 while I was in the military after graduating West Point. And then it became a desire to learn more about the faith, which I did, and then go on and serve as a chaplain in the U.S. military. And what people don't understand about military chaplaincy is that we advocate for religious freedom for all the people who serve in the military, regardless of what faith you are, whether you're Christian, Jewish, Wiccan, or Muslim, or anything else. And that's our job in the military, to advocate for that First Amendment right to religious freedom. So the question is, how is it that as serving as a U.S. military member in the immediate post 9/11 aftermath, is it that myself, who comes from a military family. I mean, my father's a U.S.-born citizen, World War II veteran. My two younger brothers also were officers in the military as well. And then here it is, I'm thrown into prison, being accused of being a terrorist spy after I reported torture and abuse at Guantanamo as the chaplain serving the prisoners there at Guantanamo.
When we come back, you're going to tell the story of your experience and then how it changed or shifted how you felt about being an American. When we went to break, you were telling us, Captain Yee, about your experience. So now you're arrested. They said you were trading secrets or attempting to help Guantanamo Bay prisoners break out. You were called a traitor, and you were facing sedition charges.
Threatened with the death penalty also.
Threatened with the death penalty. In your mind, as a person that you laid out, your father was in World War II, your brother served in the military, you are serving in the military. What did it do to your patriotism?
I've answered this question before. I've been asked similar questions like that, and I'll say that my patriotism towards this country increased multiple folds, and I say that because when I first joined the military, after graduating West Point and starting my first assignment as a young second lieutenant, I was very apolitical. I didn't get much get very much involved in politics and whatnot, and was just doing my job as a lieutenant, being a platoon leader. I was air defense artillery. But after 9/11, after serving as a chaplain and then being thrown in prison and then being falsely accused and seeing everything that was going on in the world, I feel I became more patriotic because I felt this passion to go out and outwardly voice my opinions, my beliefs, my values. And being a chaplain, one of the primary values that I held was religious freedom. So I became very passionate about speaking out and advocating for not only tolerance but acceptance of other people's faiths. Not that you accept their faith, but you accept that other people can have different religious faith than you. As well as seeing what happened in Guantanamo, seeing the torture and abuse. I became passionate about speaking out about these things which I felt were anti-American, abuse of prisoners, torture.
But it made you a target, right? It made you a target. You then became, from advocate, you're now thrown in jail.
Well, I became a target when I was making information known to my chain of command about some of the things that were going on in Guantanamo, specifically torture and abuse. That's what I believe really made me a target. And what made me an easy target was that I was Muslim. Yeah. And Asian. There's also this misperception in America that Asian Americans, specifically Chinese, have some type of loyalty to the People's Republic of China and communism, and are often categorized or called spies. And you see several cases of loyal, patriotic Chinese Americans who serve the FBI, serve government agencies, and they get targeted for some type of trumped-up espionage charges. The Wen-Ho Lee case from '94, comes to mind in that sense. And here it is: I'm Muslim and I'm Chinese, and I'm called a terrorist spy.
I want to clarify that the opinions expressed on these episodes are not that of my own. Hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, God bless. Thank you for listening on Second Chance Ministry.